Oh yeah, that's a victim. That's a nice person. That's a good person right there. Yeah, I got a gun, lighter, and all that. That's some victim for you, ain't it? That's a victim for you, huh? There you go.
Judgment Day has just been set for June 2026. Now, with that news being broken, allow me, someone who's recently served 10 years in state prison myself, to explain exactly what Carmelo Anthony will go through during his first 24 hours in prison. If he thought jail was bad, he's in for a major shock when he enters literal hell on earth. Head shaving, stripping, showering with men, disturbing warning videos. The state prison is required to show inmates, warning them about prison dangers.
So my name is Joe. I'm one of hundreds of thousands of people who are abused every year in detention centers within our country. In 2008, I was sent to prison. I was not expecting to get. I thought I knew how to protect myself. I was wrong.
And more. I'll explain everything. Let's get started. So, first off, at the very beginning of these 24 hours for Carmelo, obviously he's going to be in court and he's going to get found guilty in 2026. Once he's found guilty, he'll be arrested, he'll sit in the county jail until he's sentenced, if not that same day, maybe a later date, he'll be sentenced. Probably be sentenced to a big, hefty amount of time, right? Now, once he's sentenced, he will be still in the county jail, and he will await the weekly prison bus. And usually the prison buses come anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week, sometimes Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. They never really run on Fridays. I don't know why. But whatever the closest date, depending on the day of the week that his trial and he gets found guilty and sentenced falls on, the next available prison bus will pick him up and take him down to the Texas Reception and Evaluation Center that is located within one of the many state prison yards in Texas. This is something, and I've spoke about this before with other cases, this is something in every state all across America. Every inmate, not just high-profile ones, every inmate has to go through. When you are first sentenced, you are taken to prison, you arrive at whatever prison is the home and the host of the reception, evaluation, and intake center. And so what they do here, they house all these brand new inmates who are brand new to the prison system, or just got their time. They run a bunch of tests on you. Physical, mental, are you crazy? Do you need medication? Do you have a heart murmur? Are you got high blood pressure? They got to figure all this out for their own liability's sake, so that they can give you the bare minimum treatment on that stuff. But anyways, once, when that, let me bring you to the bus ride. He's got to be woken up in that county jail at, I'm going to say 4 to 5 a.m., if not sooner. It's going to be a very rude awakening. Get up, pack your crap, get ready. The bus is coming. You're going to real prison. You're going to big boy prisons. County jail is like Ronald McDonald's ball pit compared to prison. Okay? Now, he's going to get his stuff together. He's going to go down there in the county jail and be awaiting. He's going to be in the bus terminal of the county jail, waiting, wondering, anxious, a little nervous, kind of scared, because he knows prison is different than jail. Now I'm going to the big leagues, baby. The big leagues of criminals. This ain't you little drunk driver or your little shoplifter who stole a couple candy bars and a shirt from TJ Maxx. I mean, these are the big boys. You're getting nervous. You're on edge. The bus arrives. You're shackled. Your hands are shackled. Your feet are shackled together. And then there's a chain connecting your hand shackles to your feet shackles. And so you're shuffling to the bus. And then you got a long bus ride where your thoughts are racing to the prison. And you got people on the bus talking, and some of them have been to prison 2 or 3 times. Now they're going back for their 4th. They got a cousin who's in prison, and they've told them this and that, and this is what I've heard. Oh, I heard about this yard. Oh, this is the dangerous yard. Oh, if anyone goes to this yard, you're screwed. This is the good yard. This is the yard you don't want to go to. A lot of prison rumor mill stuff, and you're just kind of, Carmelo, he's going to be real quiet, I assume, because he's young, he's timid, he's a coward, and so, he's not really, he pretended to be a gangsta and about that life, and he pretended so hard that he actually murdered someone, so now he's got to, face the consequences, but in his heart, he's not a gangsta, and he's not really strong in the streets, in that street life. And so he's going to be very timid now that he's around real people who are actually like that. So he's going to sit back, be quiet, and listen. And he's going to be hearing all this stuff, and he's going to be, it's all going to be sinking in, and he's going to worry, oh boy, I wonder what yard I'm going to. Oh man, I wonder how this is going to go. Oh man, going to be very nervous, anxious, on edge, and scared. Now, finally, the bus, after an hour or two, will likely arrive at the prison where the reception and evaluation process will take place. Again, this is a minimum 30-day process, maybe up to 60. So, he arrives there. They are immediately going to bring that entire busload into that prison. They are going to be yelling at you like a drill sergeant, because when you're in the reception and evaluation portion of a prison, it's almost like boot camp. They are trying to break you and dissolve any preconceptions you might have had that, hey, I'm going to come into prison and be a badass. I'm going to be a bad boy. I'm not going to follow the rules. I'm going to be a thug inmate. Ultimately, does this little 30-day boot camp really deter inmates who are just doomed and destined to be problems and problematic inmates? Does that really deter them from that? No. But they do try to put that kind of psyche, real forceful boot camp, really break your spirit and break your resistance in these 30 days to prepare you for whatever prison yard they decide to send you to based upon how your evaluation goes. Now, they're going to have you line up against a wall, put your forehead against a wall. You are still shackled. They're going to undo all your shackles, and they're going to make you strip butt naked right there in a line of probably 15 to 20 other men. You are stripped butt naked. Cover your junk, and don't look to your left, don't look to your right, and dang sure don't look diagonally down, because now you're being weird, brother. But at this point, you are stripped, you are naked, you are vulnerable, and you're wondering, wow, where have I ended up? My God, especially for a young guy like that, who's always lived a privileged life. He's in Frisco, Texas. That's one of the most prominent parts of Texas. He's not from the hood. He's never been through anything like this. He's a coddled little privileged little boy who wanted to be a thug and a gangster because he listens to rap and he wants to be like the rappers he listens to. And so now he got his wish. But problem is, now you find out what comes with it. And he's not going to be prepared for it. So he's going to be covering his little wee-wee and nervous, and his little butt cheeks, and he's going to be all like this, and there's all these grown men beside him who are all so naked, and they've probably been through the system. They're probably hardened criminals, and they don't give a damn. You can look at mine. They're probably not even covering their junk, whatever, they're used to this. This is nothing new. And he realizes at that moment just how out of place he is. The next thing they're going to do is scream right in your face to hurry up, get in the shower. You have 3 minutes to get clean. So now you're in the shower, you got your own nozzle, and you are around at least 5, 6, 7 other men in this big group shower who are all showering butt naked. And you better not look to your left, you better not look to your right. So you're in there just trying to shower. So you're not even really trying to shower. It's not even in your mind, well, let me make sure I thoroughly get myself clean. Oh, let me get behind my ears. You're just like, honestly, let me do the bare minimum to pretend I even took what would be considered a decent shower so that I can hurry up and get the hell out of here and get some kind of clothes back on, right? So you scurry out of there. They're screaming at you the whole time. He's looking at you while you're butt naked, the officer, and he hands you a tiny little towel, maybe like that big. Hurry up, dry off, hurry up, hurry up. We don't got all day. Come on. So you're just humiliated, emasculated, just shamed, and which I know a lot of y'all are glad to hear that, and that's fine. You can be. I think it's funny too. I went through it. I know how it goes. So I think it's funny that he's going to go through it, especially after everything he's put the Metcalf family through. I mean, my God. So anyways, after that, when you're done drying off, you are dressed in state-issued boxers and state-issued jumpsuits. You are officially property of the state of Texas. Okay. And then you are herded in like cattle to this little room where you're all going to sit until everyone's done showering and being stripped and then dressed up in their little uniforms. And once all 15, 20, 22, 25 people are sat down in the little seats in this little room, they're going to wheel in some outdated TV stand with a big blocky TV. I'm not talking flat screens. I'm not talking Roku. I'm talking, your grandma's TV. It's still square dimensions, not rectangle. And they're going to roll it in there, and it's got a VCR hooked up to it. And they're going to pop in an old tape. And it's called the PREA tape, the Prison R-Word Elimination Act. And they have testimonies of inmates who have signed up to tell their stories of how they were R-worded in prison and their top tips for you on how you can best avoid being R-worded like they were. And as you're watching this 10-15 minute video, everybody chimes up, nah, whatever, maybe even a couple chuckles. I would never let nobody do that. But I guarantee you every inmate is sitting there watching that and deep down in their heart thinking, my God, where have I ended up? Just to even enter this place, I am required to watch a disclaimer video so that they can legally say, hey, we gave them a couple pointers on how to not get your booty violated. That's when you realize you're in hell. And that's when Carmelo's going to realize, I don't want to be a thug no more. I don't want to be a gangster no more. I want to go and play football and run track and be a good boy. Too late. Once you're done with that, you're brought into a room and they will skin your head for sanitation purposes. This is so no one brings lice into the facility. They will scalp you. They will cut. So that nice little cool little rapper, little Kodak Black looking haircut he's got, that's gone, and he'll never be able to grow that again. You have to keep your hair to a minimum of, I believe, 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches. And it will be shaved once it gets too long. So he is literally skinned of his pride with his little hair that he thinks he looks all cool and thugged out with. Gone. Then they're going to take you and they're going to make you take your clothes off again in front of a camera. And they're going to document you from the front, back, and both sides just to get your mugshots and also document any tattoos that Carmelo Anthony may have. Now, I don't know what they're really looking for. I mean, yeah, that's to identify you if you escape, but what they're also primarily looking for is any identifying tattoos that show you are gang related. And you can see here it backs up both things. I mean, here's where they show the Priya video, and here's where they do the STG security threat group screening. They want to find out, because when you're in a gang, it's called a security threat group. You are a threat to the in a group that is a threat to the security of the prison and other inmates. Carmelo may not have any tattoos if he's smart that are gang related, but we know he's likely to be classified as a gang member because of the extremely viral photo where he stupidly false claimed to be a member of the Insane Vice Lords, which are prominent in Texas. He's holding up this sign right here. And if you think they don't have that in his file, you're crazy. It's likely he will be classified as a gang member. And that's even worse for him, because then once they classify you as a security threat group, like I said, they're doing all this stuff to decide which actual prison within the state, because there are many in every state, that you get sent to. And you better believe some are more dangerous, some are more for like people who are actually like crazy mental health, some are more for like, this is like the good yard, pedophiles, things like that, where people we need to keep safe. Then you have your bad war zone yards with the reputation of, all the knife slinging and cutthroat and stabbings and all that. Yeah. There's your gang yards. He's going to be sent to a unit with a gang that he's not even a part of because he false claimed to be a part of it. And that is one of the gangs who primarily wants to get him because it is a big, big no-no to false claim a gang. And it then becomes, in the gang world, all other gangs, especially in prison, if you're all close together, they all kind of look to that gang like, you going to handle that? It's kind of your responsibility. They are obligated to harm him. Not even talking about the white supremacist gang, the Aryan Brotherhood of Texas, who are already gunning for him because of all the things that he's done to this family. Not to mention, his team has come out and publicly online, on the internet, declared they are now going to war with the white supremacists. That is real. That is a real article, real headline, real statement given by Dominique Alexander, former head of the Carmelo team. He said, we are declaring war on white supremacists. So the Aryan Brotherhood of Texas has already confirmed it's on site. As soon as they see him, they're going to get him. But if that wasn't bad enough, this viral photo of him is likely going to get him classified as a STG gang member of a gang he's not even a part of, and who is obligated to harm him because he pretended to be a part of it. And they're going to send him right there to him. I think that's kind of funny. And ironic. Injustice. You can disagree, that's fine. That's just how I feel. After all that's done, he will be sent to his cell, where he will await further evaluation that will come in the next few days and few weeks. These will be medical things, just your doctor's checkup, stethoscope, light in the ears, breathe in, deep breath for me, exhale, all that crap, just to make sure you're not on the brink of death. Psychiatrist, just to make sure you're not bat crazy. Things like that. And then they decide where they want to send you, and then they wait for a spot, a cell, a bunk to open up in that designated area. And then once it is, it's got your name on it, buddy. You're going to get sent there, and you are not going to like what happens then. But usually that takes about 30 days. But for the first 24 hours, that's what he's going to go through. He will eventually arrive at his cell, where he will realize this sucks. If you want me to take you through more, his first week, first month, first year,